So I put together two samples from two different films, thinking that they would serve as a good contrast. One, which is this one, is Crow's Landing, which was shot in 35 millimeter. I shot it in 2008, and it's just being released this year. So to start off, we have these sort of mood shots. So the shots that are already good. You can see this shot here. This looks fine. It's well put together, but you can give it some mood. We added a little green, a little darkness, added some drama. And these following shots are all from that same sequence, all with that sort of dramatic touch of green to it. And when I lit it, I had included greens in it and things, knowing that this would be a look we would aim for. And then in color, you just push that look to refine it and make it work better as a whole. You'll see later that this green contrasts to another part of the film, so something else is a little bit red-orange, this is a little bit green, and it creates a dramatic effect. In this sequence, watch the shadows in this, and now with the correction, you'll see how much more dramatic it feels. So now when he crosses her right here, she just disappears into the shadows. And there she is again. So that sort of thing, you can enhance the tension of the scene by playing with light and dark, playing with what you see and what you focus your attention on. Here, the blood in his shirt pops out. Here, you focus more on his washing the hands. And here is part of the warmer sequence I was talking about, which would contrast against the green that we saw earlier. And you're always thinking in color correction, you're always thinking in terms of the whole of the film and how things work against or with each other. So you make things match or you make things contrast depending on the needs of the film. And this is sunset or sunrise type footage. And again, in color, you just push it and make it match and make it have more of a mood. And a good DP shoots for color correction. When I shoot, I know that I'm going to put it through color correction. And I try to shoot leaving room in the exposure to be able to manipulate it later in post. So like this stuff here, looks like a big difference, but it was actually shot exposed with the intention of being treated, something like this. So the images look a little bit flat, but you're exposing in that way, and then you know that you're going to do color afterwards because every image really needs color. These are sort of beauty shots, so these shots are all good, they're all nice, these are all good exposures, properly executed, but then when you color, you just really bring out the mood, bring out the impact. So again, when you're shooting the film, you're expecting it to go through color treatment. Every film needs color correction. Here, for instance, really make that sunset look effective. Here, focus attention on the houses. Here, make it more of a moody sunset. So these again show, I like this one here, really bring out the glow of the sunset. The light is just really nice. And on the close-up coming up here, you'll see it's right here. Just really looks so beautiful there. So I like using color to focus attention on the subject. So these are all, it's almost like putting a spotlight on the subject or something where you can manipulate the image to really focus attention on the character, and when they're going through a moment, I think you can really bring you into their mood, or the emotion they're experiencing, and really bring out the acting effectively. So we didn't have that many problem shots on this film. We didn't have much crew or gear, but we paid attention to it and things went pretty well. Here's an example. We were in a barn and the walls are so rich, just the wood, that like this shot here, it just completely changed the color temperature. And this shot, I hate to admit, is a little bit soft, which I would blame the first AC for, but we didn't have a first AC. but we had a few little issues like this. So in color, you can even things out. So now it's more dramatic. It's got more of a feel to it, and you'll see the shot there that was really red is going to now match, which is the next shot coming up. There you go. The red's gone. It matches. It fits. And here, it looks a little bit more in focus. You can hide the fact that it's out of focus by using color and playing with contrasts in different parts of the scene. And now you can see them together, and you'll see more clearly the changes. So now you can see it's darker, more dramatic. The next shot, you'll really see the red in the bottom right, how much more red that is. So that's the kind of stuff that you can smooth out. In every movie, we always have, you're up against the world when you're trying to make a movie, and it's really impossible to control everything. So you always have these little issues you have to iron out, and that's what you need color for. And these are just common things. Not really problems. They're all shots that work, but again, you're just making them proper. So here, you darken him, and it's exposed bright so that when the sun pops out, you still maintain as much detail as you can, and then you darken it and exaggerate the effect of the light coming in and out. These are from the opening sequence of the movie, and you just correct them to make them all match. If you watch these in a row, which they're not presented in that way here, but they would all match each other much better. And this is another example where you're bringing out what's in the image, and you make them all match. So there you have it, the shots from Crow's Landing, and an idea of what you can do with a film that's well shot on 35mm. And you can take a look now at the other film, which was shot under less controlled settings on DV.